Hey gang, Mike here with the Professional Security Journal. So today I want to talk about what made me going to get into security in the first place. Um, and you're gonna have to pardon me. I may get a little bit emotional due to the gravity of the event. Now, some of you know my story, but for those of you who don't, um, 6 years ago, or we're in 2023 now. 6 years ago, October 1st, 2017, I was a bystander turned first responder of the Route 91 Harvest Festival, Jason Aldean country shooting in Las Vegas. At the time, I was an Amazon employee, and then, but also at the time, along with being an Amazon employee, is my paid job at that moment. I was in the air, pardon me, I was in the all-volunteer civilian auxiliary of the United States Air Force called the Civil Air Patrol. So at one point, I was submitted for the Medal of Valor, the Civil Air Patrol's Silver Medal of Valor, which is the highest award you can obtain within the Air Force Auxiliary. And I wanted to read the write-up that one of my squadron executives wrote, and then I just kind of want to talk about, why that event made me go here in the first place, come into this industry. So here's the citation. Here's the write-up that my squadron wrote up for me. On 1 October 2017, Technical Flight Officer Michael Scheidel was attending the Route 91 concert on the Las Vegas Strip. At approximately 22:30 hours on that night, a gunman positioned on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel on the Las Vegas Strip opened fire into the crowd of concert attendees. In what witnesses described as automatic gunfire, over 22,000 attendees of the concert scrambled to find safety among the bullets raining down on them. For over 10 minutes, the gunfire continued to shower bullets into the crowd, resulting in 58 killed and over 550 injured. During the resulting chaos and gunfire and people fleeing the scene, TFO Scheidel ignored every urge to find safety and instead fell back into his Civil Air Patrol emergency training and began assisting people to move away from the gunfire and into safety. At some point during the incident, TFO Scheidel was able to connect with members of the LVMPD who had responded to the scene. He joined the uniformed officers as part of an evacuation team and continued to move people away from the gunfire, all the meanwhile remaining within the hot zone of the shooting zone. TFO Scheidel remained at his post with the sworn commissioned officers of Metro PD throughout the entire incident, well into the early hours of the next morning, ensuring that those he could help were indeed helped. TFO Scheidel only left the scene once it was secured by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and declared a crime scene upon the FBI showing up. Additionally, the following days, TFO Scheidel participated as an aircrew member of the Nevada Wing's emergency activation and flew blood into Las Vegas from hospitals in the surrounding states. It is my sincere belief that if TFO Scheidel had not acted in this manner by remaining in harm's way, making sure other concert attendees were moved to safety, the number of dead and injured would have been higher. TFO Scheidel's calm under intense pressure, his attempts to provide first aid while he did not have any life-saving equipment, and his intuitive reaction to join the uniformed officers so that he would be recognized by the public as a first responder, his willingness to remain under the gunfire to help others with little regard for his own safety are to be commended. In what has been called the worst domestic attack in the history of the United States, TFO Scheidel properly reacted and exhibited every core value that the Civil Air Patrol holds dear. Integrity first, excellence in all we do, volunteer service, the Air Force's core 3, and the 4th Civil Air Patrol core value of respect. His years of training as a cadet have translated into an officer who responds when he hears the call to assist. Based on these facts, I lost my place. Based on these facts, I respectfully request that Technical Flight Officer Michael Scheidel be awarded the Silver Medal of Valor for his actions. Respectfully, First Lieutenant, I'm not going to name his name, Deputy Commander, Nellis Composite Squadron, Nellis Air Force Base. And then I want to read the press release that the National Headquarters wrote out that unfortunately was taken down, and I'll get to those circumstances. Tragedy struck Las Vegas on October 1st, 2017, when a gunman opened fire on the Route 91 Harvest Festival music festival. October 1st, 2018 marks 1 year since that terrible night. This story does not investigate the causes or politics behind the event, but rather recognizes one Civil Air Patrol member who truly took the core value of volunteer service to heart in the face of chaos. Second Lieutenant Michael Scheidel from the Jack Schofield Cadet Squadron, the 802nd, attended the festival along with over 22,000 other country music fans. The night went by and everyone was having a great time. The festival's closing act, country singer Jason Aldean, gets on stage. He sings his first song, and then second, and eventually makes it to his sixth song. Out of nowhere, bullets come hailing down from the 32nd floor of a nearby resort on the Las Vegas Strip. Second Lieutenant Scheidel's instincts immediately took over. Upon recognizing the sound of gunfire, he called for everyone to get down and take cover around him within the festival grounds. After assessing the scene around him and ensuring everyone close by was okay, he got up to help direct evacuation of the concert area. Once the majority of the concert goers were out of harm's way, and only after the majority of them were out of harm's way, Second Lieutenant Scheidel sought out emergency medical technicians and offered his assistance. Thanks to the first aid training he received through Civil Air Patrol, Second Lieutenant Scheidel was able to follow the orders given to him by fire department and other private sector EMTs and assist administering first aid, potentially saving dozens of lives. Later in the evening, the Las Vegas Fire Department arrived and took command of the incident within FEMA's Incident Command System protocols. Second Lieutenant Scheidel once again exemplified the core value of volunteer service and offered his experience to the incident staff. The fire chief of VFD, who was on post, was bewildered that a 20-year-old had already completed FEMA classes that typically only mid-level emergency managers had held. Second Lieutenant Scheidel worked at the incident command post for a while until he was given a radio and vest identifying him as incident staff. Many hotels in Las Vegas were put on lockdown immediately following the shooting and in the aftermath within the night, and nobody knew if the gunman was working alone. As a result, Second Lieutenant Scheidel sent door-to-door to each hotel, ensuring that everyone inside was okay and nothing else was going to happen. Second Lieutenant Scheidel, then a technical flight officer, would go hotel to hotel, door to door, until about 0400 hours. After being relieved, Second Lieutenant Scheidel made it to his residence around 0700. The next day, Nevada Wing was put on standby to fly additional blood into Las Vegas for victims of the horrific shooting. Despite only having less than 4 hours of sleep after an exhausting night, Second Lieutenant Scheidel once again dutifully answered the call and was put on standby with an air crew. Although the Civil Air Patrol, thankfully, was never activated and the Air Force Auxiliary Services were not required, he, along with many other amazing volunteers, were ready to go at a moment's notice. So what should readers take away from this story? Second Lieutenant Scheidel thinks the most valuable lesson for cadets and senior members alike is this: our training in CAP matters. Seize every opportunity you can. You never know where it will come into use and come in handy. Second Lieutenant Michael Scheidel joined Civil Air Patrol as a cadet in 2011, and upon receiving his General Curry Award, jumped at the opportunity to get involved in emergency services. Over the next few years, he would spend his weekends getting qualified in various base staff positions and even began training as a communications unit leader. Upon turning 18 years old, he elected to become a senior member and worked his way up to mission observer within Civil Air Patrol's search and rescue air crew track. I lost my place because my phone was scrolling. In 2016, he joined the AmeriCorps NCC FEMA Corps program and assisted in the relief efforts of the Louisiana floods and Hurricane Matthew. Later, he then became a FEMA reservist as a result of this experience and deployed to Hurricanes Harvey and Irma in 2017. Wanting to continue helping people wherever possible, he started EMT school on September 17th of this year. The shooting that occurred on the Las Vegas Strip is a horrible reminder that anything can happen, anytime, any place. As demonstrated by Second Lieutenant Michael Scheidel, Civil Air Patrol members stay vigilant and constantly stand ready to serve their community, state, and nation, even when their own lives are in danger. It was a lot to get through. I pledge that I will serve faithfully in the Civil Air Patrol Cadet program. You know what? It's been years. Forget it. I was going to recite the Cadet oath. I can't. But, guys, as you saw, I got a little bit teary there. This event is very near and dear to me. I was Amazon that night. That night happened. I lost my job at Amazon months after because Amazon being Amazon, the managers over there were saying I wasn't meeting efficiency standards and this and that. I wasn't meeting my numbers. Yeah, no shit. I just went through something. So ultimately, I got walked out of my Amazon facility. In November of 2017, I turned 21 a month after. That next month, December, I started my security career walking downtown Fremont Street, working the tourist corridor in Las Vegas, carrying nothing but pepper spray. And we had our OC, and we had controlled force training. We had empty and hard hand tactics. That was all we had on Fremont Street. I have a very unique view of security as a profession. I have a very unique view of this industry, and I carry myself more seriously than most within private security. And that's due to what I just read. That's due to my experience. That's due to more or less electing to go into this industry to ensure that doesn't happen. So when I tell people I take this job seriously, I do. Because I went into this industry after a traumatic event, and I'm in this industry to ensure no other traumatic events happen. I don't want anybody, you guys saw me on camera, I don't want anybody else getting like this. I don't want anybody else to have to feel the way I feel. I don't want anybody to experience the horror that I experienced. Guys, Route 91 was literally Iraq in the US. It has been described as a domestic war zone. There were 58 people that fell that night. And I knew 2 of them. And 3 others have since moved on from their injuries. From 2011 to 2014, I was a member of the Civil Air Patrol. From 2011 to 2017, I spent the 6 years possible, from 15 to 21, as a Metro Explorer, as a police explorer. I had the distinct honor of knowing police officer, Metropolitan Police Department officer, and U.S. Army National Guardsman Charleston Charlie Hartfield. He was one of the 58 that night. So people can make fun of me. People can demean me, and people can belittle me all they want. I hold my head high. And I've had another content creator more or less mock me on YouTube in my past. And I take it to heart because I come into this industry with a heart. Again, I went through something. I entered this industry to ensure that doesn't happen again. Okay? So that's my explanation for you guys. 6 years ago is my why. Ooh. 6 years ago is my why of why I entered this profession to begin with. In the next couple of days on this channel, I want to take a trip down memory lane with you guys. And I want to make a video or maybe multiple videos exploring my resume, exploring my security career, exploring my history. And I want to show you guys my path. And I want to show you guys how I don't want to toot my horn. I want to show you guys how a pure attitude with a sincere heart, I want to show you guys where that can take you. I got to move states within this profession, guys. I got transferred and I've moved up in my career because of the way I carry myself, because of my attitude, because of how I view the industry. So the next couple of days, maybe next couple of weeks, I want to explore memory lane. And if it takes a couple of weeks, that's fine. And I say it may take a couple of days, may take a couple of weeks, because lately I haven't felt YouTube lately. So as I feel up to making YouTube videos, we're gonna take a trip. So this video's gone on 17 and a half minutes. I've gone on long enough and I got a little bit emotional there. I own that. But I have an armed security license within the state of Utah and state of Nevada for a reason. I am armed in the service of others. I am armed to do my part. And that's all I got for you guys. So I kind of wanted to just say, I just kind of wanted to explain why I'm so passionate about the profession and where I come from within a viewpoint, where I come from as far as how do I look at security. So anyways, guys, Mike here at the Professional Security Journal. Y'all stay safe. I'm not going to go through my whole full spiel like I sometimes do in certain videos, but that's all I got for you. Mike here at the Professional Security Journal. Y'all take it easy. Stay safe. Most importantly, take pride in all that you do. Have a good one, guys.